once again, and you're welcome to Teens Connect, the premier teen talk show in Ghana, where you can say anything and everything and however you want to see it. Once again, I'm your host, Kofi, and we have an exciting team of guests and a very special resource person to make the show a lively and educative one. Okay, so let's get into things. Uncle Richard, please can you tell us more about yourself?
Richard Opoku-Mensah, and I work with KPMG as a management consultant, and what we do basically helping firms, both local and international firms, with strategies, with business plans. Mainly, those are the things we do. We also help with process improvement, advisory services. Further from that, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. I worship with Prince Emmanuel SDA Church. And I'm a young man that is trying to find his feet somewhere. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. I'm sure you'll also help us with some strategies and some exquisite analysis on today's edition. So let's delve into things. But before that, I have a question to go to all our guests today. I'm starting with Nancy. You've read the Bible so many times that you even wanted to go into seminary. So which Bible character do you think you resonate with? Which Bible character do you find your life story attached to?
Okay, I'll say Abigail.
Hey, why Abigail?
Because she was able to help her husband, and with the help, that kind of help, like she helped her husband with, that's the kind of thing I do. So.
Hey. Oh, you said it sounds clearly. The little bird whispered into my ear that you sound more like Delilah, but
oh well.
I would reveal that little bit. Prince, which Bible character do you find your life aligned to?
I would say Moses.
Hey, Moses.
Yes.
Why Moses?
Because Moses was, when he was a little boy, he was taken to Pharaoh's house, and with all that he had, he still had passion for his people, where he came from. He still had passion for the Israelites when they were beaten, when God called him to go and bring them back from Israel, from Egypt. He was able to go. He still had a desire to do that.
So you have passion
to help people.
So have you been taken to a Pharaoh's house before?
Not yet.
Oh. Brian, which Bible character? Noah. Hey, why Noah?
See, from my perspective, I see myself as someone who God is molding to lead his people to victory and eternity and salvation one day. I want to preach the word of God to people.
Wow, I'm impressed. Noah.
Yes.
Oh, that's very nice. Uncle Richie. Hi. Who do you resonate with?
I think various aspects of my life would click on a few characters, but the character that I usually love and I hope to grow into is Timothy.
Okay.
Timothy was, let me say, a protege of Paul, learning under Paul. The parents were not Christian, let me say Jews, so he had to switch. And then Paul took him along in most of his journeys. My parents were not Adventists at first, and it took a family that we lived with to pull us along in the Seventh-day. And I think it's a faith that I've loved to be part of, and I hope that I can do more within here. So I think Timothy works. Okay.
So you said different aspects of your life. Can you touch on one more aspect?
Okay, so at some point I feel like I'm is it Andrew? Andrew was Simon's big brother, right? Yeah. Andrew was the quiet type, more like not so aggressive and extrovert and all that. Yet behind the scenes, he was doing more for the kingdom. The good part of my life that I think I'm a quiet guy. People may not agree, but then I think I'm a quiet guy. Behind the scenes, doing my best to also help the business of the kingdom, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not a negative part. I'm sure you wanted a negative part, but...
No, we didn't want a negative part. So from Delilah, oh no, you said Abigail. It was Abigail you said, not Delilah. That's very interesting. So today we want to ask a big question.
Sorry, what character do you resonate with?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find which one exactly. I've scrolled through, but not any one matches in particular. So I'm still finding. I'm sure when I find it, I'll share it with you guys soon.
the highest match. We will appreciate that.
All right.
Okay.
So today we are going to ask a very big question. We've been hearing something social media addiction. Is it something that it is really happening, or it's just a cliche that people used to say social media? They are just talking into the air. They don't know what they are saying. Or is it something that really, really goes on? Are we really, as young people, addicted to social media, or it's just a saying? Nancy, are you addicted to social media? So can you live a week without social media?
No.
So are you not?
But I'm not addicted. At least once or twice, I have to just see what's going on.
So what do you think addiction is? Since you say you cannot live, you can live without it, but you cannot go for a week without it.
A week is
what do you
a lot
think
of
addiction
days.
is?
Addiction is the whole week.
So
yes, and also like you spend like 2 hours, but maybe like 12 to 14 hours.
Okay.
I'll say that's addiction.
So when you are engrossed to something 12 to 14 hours, Brian, what do you think addiction is?
Addiction is forever. You put your mind to it. Any little chance you get, you're just watching it till like nobody stops you. You're just watching till eternity.
Prince, in your mind, what's addiction?
Addiction is something you do all the time that your body and your mind has become attached to it in a way.
Uncle Richie, so can you help us with a strategic definition of addiction?
Well, I may not get a strategic definition, but I believe anything that can take your mind off some relevant things, and on the other side, I guess it's something that you feel like your life depends on it. Your brain is so tuned that if you don't have it, you can't survive, kind of a thing. I think that's what I would term addiction. Yeah.
So Nancy, I think now you are aware that you might be addicted to social media.
I'm not addicted to it. I'm not addicted.
But you say you can't go a week without it, and so I mean.
But at least just to know what's going on, because now everything that happens in the world like is posted on social media. So at least just to pass, and also friends. I have friends I talk to, and also like you need to interact once in a while. So.
Okay, so then you have said, so is social media once that is public or is private? So Prince, what will you define as social media? Because some things are essential like emails and WhatsApp, you need to communicate, but some others can be very addictive. So what do you define as social media?
Social media, idea behind social media was that like it's for business, totally for business, where people expose what they have to do so that it attracts buyers and other people to buy. But this modern world and our generation, we've undefined the definition.
We've turned around the definition.
Social media.
Brian, what do you say is social media?
Same as what he said.
Yeah, copy. I'm sure when you're in class, you'll be looking on someone's shoulder.
Oh, no, I've never tried it before.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Uncle Richie.
I think I may not agree with my brother here, mainly because pay name social media, so digital platforms that are supposed to help with social interactions. Beyond that, there's been the need for people to take advantage to do business and then cash in on that. So the concepts, perhaps the stories we've even heard of Zuckerberg and then the other people, it was something just to enhance social interaction in their high schools, and eventually it spread across, and there are new ones that are coming in. So there could be that interactive ones that could help business. So emails could be there, even WhatsApp, people will use it for, let me say, productive work. So in my office, there are a lot of work teams that are having WhatsApp pages that interact, get the work done in a way. And then there are other ones too that inform. So my lady was talking about she getting to know what is happening from social media. So in and of itself, I don't think it's the bad thing, but I guess if we misdirect how we are going to use it, that's where it becomes a challenge.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I think we've defined social media and addiction. So Brian, given that you are being shaped into a Noah-like life, I don't think you have time for social media. Or am I lying?
It's not as if I don't have time for social media. I chat with friends and family members, but not always. when there's something important I have to tell them or they have to tell me, I just check 2 hours like interval. I check if there's any message that's important. If there's no important message, I just look at it and put it down somewhere.
So I see you're a very principled and strategic guy. You don't have time for such buffoonery and such jokes. You don't have time for it.
No,
But
that's
have you encountered someone who is addicted to social media, and what does it look like?
Okay. I have a friend who is addicted to social media. If you check her WhatsApp status, it's about 56 pictures a day.
That she puts on her WhatsApp
She puts on
status.
her WhatsApp status.
But
about
why?
56. No,
So
they're all irrelevant to like. Most of them are memes. Like they'll put a picture there and write something on top of it, just to implicate something that's unnecessary.
so you call it unnecessary. But so is that what she does? The whole day she's on social media.
Yes, she just finished with her basic examination, some
BC.
BC.
Some BC, like yeah, also some BC. It's like a child's play.
So
Some
yeah, it's
BC.
a child's play. We are past it.
You have passed that stage. Okay, so she's addicted. 56 pictures a day.
56 pictures, at least 56
At
pictures
least.
a day.
That man's
Okay. Wait, like in the evening when I just I'm about to sleep, I just look at things. Oh, okay, so there's no important message. Then why don't I check these few things before I sleep?
So you too, maybe you might be subtly addicted to the
It's
thing.
not addiction because it's not constant.
Okay. So addiction must be constant. You
Yes,
cannot live
addiction is
without it.
constant. You can't live without it.
Okay. Now you see, have you seen another 56 pictures a day kind of friend?
No, I don't think so.
But you know what it looks like to be addicted to social media?
Yeah, like it's like your life, like their life depends on it.
Their lives, meaning that you are not part.
I know, I'm not bad. Like everything they do is posted on social media. I also watched one movie, the same thing. Like she was so addicted. Every second she's taking a picture and posting it on Instagram. I'm going to bath. I'm going to. She's bathing her baby. She's posting it there. The baby is done. She's posting it. She's doing her makeup. She's wearing her dress. She's posting it. So like they are like on it 24/7. Everything they do, it's on social media.
Okay, friends, I want to have your take. Have you seen people who are addicted to social
Yeah,
media?
I've seen a lot of them. And even when you want to take maybe their phone from them, you see that they have a lot of withdrawal symptoms that irritates their skin. Like it gets into their mind very much.
Okay, so what do you think? Does social media prevent us from having privacy, or it is up to you to decide whether it prevents you or not? So
Talking about everything she does, she's posting it there. Bathing, her baby, her makeup, everything. It's a private life, but then she wants to put it out there for people to see. So it's a
but
choice.
doesn't make her popular.
Yes, and she's also popular too. No, some people are not popular, but then most of them are popular.
So Brian, do you think that people do the social media because of the popularity?
Yes, most people do it because they want to be popular in life.
So and what do they get? What do we get from popularity?
I don't know. I've never been popular before.
I'll encourage you. So what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people may be doing this for popularity. And the few readings that I've done also indicates that there is a psychological implant, I guess, on the platforms. Well, the initial thoughts that led me into social media, I was checking on games. So games can be very addictive. And for a game that they were developing, they had a psychologist who joined the team developing the game so that one thing or any feature that they put on the game will let you stay a few more minutes.
Okay.
And that is how they develop it. And the essence is it gives you a mental, let me say, reward for doing one step at a time. And it feels like you want to do more. So anytime that's, and when I came in, I know Brian said he's not very active on social media, but I was listening to the conversation and there were issues on the number of likes and then of some of the posts that perhaps some people have made. So anytime you post something on social media and you'll be monitoring for likes, you'll be monitoring for comments, and you can't stay away from your phone. Anytime you hear a ding, you want to check who has commented or something like that. And it feels good when you are getting more likes. And that is how they've designed it. So you'll be comparing your likes maybe from previous pictures or other people. And that reward continues to let you stay on social media for however long you want to stay. So it feels good to be on social media, but it seems you may be losing out on a lot of other things if you continue to spend your time on it.
All right. Thank you so much. It feels good, but you might be losing on other something. But there's something that's become very popular nowadays: brand influencers. Is it possible that if you follow social media enough, you might become a brand influencer, or is it that we are, by watching their posts and videos, we are giving them money? Prince, what do you think?
I think the main issue for social media was for business. So like, take it like for a YouTuber like this, the more subscribers he gets, the more money he gets. So that's where people get their source of income from.
So Nancy, would you think that if we all moved away from social media, some people will lose their jobs? Is that what you are getting from Prince's submission?
No. Some people, that's their job.
Yes.
But then some, it's not their job.
So some people are just doing it for the fun.
Yeah, they just want to be popular. And maybe can we help them to be brand influencers? Yes. Because you are popular, so people want to use you for their adverts and stuff.
Okay. That's very interesting. So the big thing is that how do we help our friends and ourselves? Because Brian said he doesn't have time for social media, but it turns out that he has been counting how many pictures someone has posted on status.
It's not an addiction because it's not constant.
No, but by the time you realize, you'll be
Just counting.
Just
When I was a
counting.
child, I was counting. Doesn't mean I was addicted.
But how do we advise ourselves to move out of it?
Addiction is very addiction. The word addiction, someone is addicted to something, it's very hard to leave that thing. So that one, it takes time before the person might leave, but then I don't think it's going to work for someone who is addicted. Because social media, there's always something new. There's always something, and you want to know what's going on. So it's not something I don't think someone would like to leave.
Okay. So, Brian, is there a way to move out of addictions to social media?
Therapy.
Psychologist. That's the only way to move out. Are you sure?
For me.
For you. That means that you're addicted.
But asking through the question you're asking me, I'm proposing.
So therapy. So you want to become a psychologist so you can
No,
help
I want,
people with
as I told you earlier, I'm a Noah guy. I want to preach the word of God to others. So
okay. When you're building a community, come and help.
I'll need
you.
some nails, so don't worry.
All right. So wouldn't social media help you preach the word?
I guess so.
Yes.
But that will be later in
The Noah training.
in the Noah training.
Prince.
Person should develop tolerance. So you should take time and maybe allocate your daily schedules and have a specific time for the mobile phone. It helps get someone to help you monitor that particular time. So maybe 30 minutes or 2 hours, you get off it and do other things.
All right.
Are you sure? Because when they are
Yeah.
addicted, like, and they put their phone away, it's like every nerve, like, it's shaking. So your body just itches. So it's going to be hard. But then
Like, do you mean they should just, out of their whole day, they should just take 30 minutes or 1 hour to
someone who is addicted,
Generally, it will be difficult.
it's going to be
So
very
just
hard.
Drop it.
Okay.
But like, sorry, you can shoot.
Oh no.
Like any addiction, I guess therapy will work, but self-discipline too will work. And it doesn't happen in an instance. It will stretch over some time. So if you maintain the discipline over the period, you are well able to manage it. So it may be that you do 8 hours a day on social media. And I guess sometimes I can do that. Not for just staying on social media. As I said, we have work teams that you have to be managing some things and some people online. And I know for all smartphones, you can check how many hours you spent on every app. You can just check that for yourself. And if you are someone who wants to manage it, if you know averagely you are doing 4 hours, you can now time yourself that I want to do 3 hours in the coming week, I want to do 2 hours in the following week, in that order. Before you realize, your friends will get, and because it's social, sometimes it's not just about you, it's about the people around you. Your friends will engage you on social media, and you can't just drop them, right? So if they start to learn that there are times that previously when they WhatsApp you, you respond in the next microsecond. Now it takes 5 minutes or it takes 20 minutes. They'll start appreciating that maybe you are not always online. So they will also get used to that. So you can manage it over time. Just set yourself to that discipline and try to cut down on the time. Sincerely, I think there are a lot of negatives of being addicted to social media. It may not sound very obvious like you do for cocaine or drinking or drugs, I may say. But there are a lot of developments that may be forestalled if you spend a good number of hours on social media. So you may be on vacation, a young guy, can pick storybooks you can read, which is good for your brain, for development. But then you prefer to stay online. And trust me, the more it's fun to be online than picking a book that is boring. It may be an interesting. I know. Yeah, we all do that sometimes, but. No. If your data is on and you're reading online, you just see a pop-up and then it feels like, let me go and check what they are even saying. So I would advise, if you really want to be doing the reading, the hard copy books are still relevant. Just pick them and then shun your books for some hours. You can use social media as a reward. Let me say, if you do 3 hours reading, you do 30 minutes social media. So that it keeps you to doing the relevant things, and then social media only serves as a reward, and then you can manage other things. If you have a family, for young ones, you may not have families, of course. And I guess there wouldn't be time that you spend on social media that will hurt it may hurt your siblings, because you need to engage them as human beings, as real human beings, not virtual human beings. And they are online and you're in the same house and you're chatting online, or else you can just bump into the person's room and have a chat. These things, I think they are meant for a reason, this physical interaction. So if you substitute that by social media, I'm afraid, but I don't know how the future is going to be, sincerely, because people will become socially awkward. We are fine on social media, and like the woman you're talking about, I'm sure that people display a lot on social media that they can't do physically. They feel like kings and queens on social media. They post all they want to post. But in real life, when you meet them, they can't do that. So when they have to meet and mingle with people, they become very, very funny, because how you expect them to behave, they don't behave like that. So it is good that we balance it with a physical interaction, so that is life in a way. But social media also has its positives. People are profiting from it. The influencers are making money. There are other corporate institutions that actually, let me say, employ social media strategists. They'll sit by it all day, but these people are making money of it. So if you are just in your room, in quote, wasting data and then laughing over it, which also could be positive, but for how long? I think you should think twice. You can be doing something better on social media.
All right. As you were giving your submission, Nancy, she wasn't feeling too well. She was just itching a bit.
Is that true? Are you the one who posted the 56 with us?
56? No.
There was some reference to it, but oh well. So before we wind down and go on a commercial break, I wanted to ask, how many hours on the average do you spend on social media apps a day?
A day, about 2 hours.
Oh, but you, I thought you were being trained in the Noah calling, and so we didn't have time for all these things.
The day is 24 hours, and 2 hours out of 24 hours is 22 hours left for other things, and 22 hours I can preach a lot.
Hey, yes.
How many hours do you preach? Okay. That is suspended for the future.
I'm not preaching now. I'm just interacting
preparing
about God. I'm just
Nancy, let's leave Noah to you. How many hours do you spend on social media?
I don't really know, because if I go, I break, come back, break, come back.
So it can be like 5 hours.
Oh, no. If I break, maybe 2, break, 3, break, 2, yeah. Because the break is kind of late. Yeah.
So you there average 4 hours.
Oh.
Okay, there, we'll come back to you. Prince, about how many
So me,
hours?
I don't know. I just take up, I take the phone, I check. If there are no messages, I go back. So I have to check like what
Uncle
the
Richie
facility-
said.
yes.
All right.
I just checked mine. At least I've done 40 minutes WhatsApp today,
Wow,
15 Instagram, 8 minutes YouTube. So it can give you that breakdown.
Yes.
You can sum all the social media sites and then you can look at how you can better it.
All right. That's very insightful. So that next
Have
time.
you added yourself?
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh,
How many hours
You
you
can check,
spend?
right?
You see, you have to qualify what you mean by social media.
Hey.
Because the term can determine the hours, and so we have to do all that background calculations before I come and put anything
Why did you put that
It's
in?
there for hours.
into
Yes.
the public domain. I have to do some background calculations before I put any figures into the public domain. So until that is done,
Just check now.
Just check.
yeah, we are going on a commercial break, and then we are coming back. We are going to discuss our scenario of the day. Stay tuned. All right, so you are welcome from the commercial break. I'm sure you were itching to get to know what our scenario of the day is. We intentionally did not tell you so that you come and listen to today's scenario. Today's scenario is very interesting. It says, Araba is a student in Mawe SHS. Mawe SHS is located in Itikopo. And all the places and references in this school, in this scenario, are completely fictional. They do not depict any real scenarios. So Araba is a student in Mawe SHS. But this thing, it really happens. So she has noticed that a science teacher has been making advances towards her. I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. But she is trailing behind the science. Oh, Araba, you know, the teacher likes you, but you are not doing well in the subject. And she needs to ask the teacher for help. How does she ask the teacher for help when she knows that the teacher, if he catches her, wants to come out, it's not good? Nancy, have you encountered such scenario? You know, such things, they usually happen to our sisters. Have you encountered such a scenario?
No.
Well, have you heard of a friend who has been such a scenario before?
No, but then my aunt told me one today.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. I see. So, first of all, is it the fault of the teacher or is it for the fault of the student? Because I'm sure the teacher will not be attracted to someone looking hideous. So is it that sometimes the students do not dress well, or is it sometimes the teachers now, whether the student dresses well or not, they are not supposed to do anything?
It's from both sides. She told me sometimes the teachers, they like, should I say little girls? Sometimes they are old, but they like little girls. Yes. And from the student side, sometimes they dress so, how should I, not shabby, but then they want to attract so much. So the way they dress, so it's from both sides. The fault from both sides. So they dress in a very attractive way, and they also like little girls too.
Brian, have you encountered such a situation before?
Nobody wants me.
But I mean, have you seen any classmate who has been into such a situation?
About 2 or 3.
Hey, you, only you will see such a situation. Only you. So
I'm like Noah. Everything that everything that is happening around me, I see.
So in your Noah capacities, how did you help them?
Okay, she was my best friend.
Hey, okay.
Please, not best friend as in your mind. Best friend.
What do you mean, my best friend? Brian, this is defamatory.
No, it is my mind best friend, not your mind best friend.
It is Prince. We are taking it to Prince, not to me.
So she was my best friend. When I saw that the teacher was getting close to her, I after school, I sat her down. I was like, I won't mention her name. I was like, yo, Tio, why is the teacher always coming to you, asking you questions, how you are feeling? And it's just like, oh, he comes to my house, talks to my mother about me, and then asks her when she's bringing me out for marriage and stuff.
Hey.
Like, it was a serious case. And then she told me about it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we'll do. I see that you always go to him after school. He was also her classes teacher. So after school, after afternoon class, that's from 5 going. So to 5 to 6:30 before she goes home alone. Sometimes he escorts her home.
Wow.
So So I told her she should try and tell her parents to like come about 5 minutes or 6 minutes before time to pick her up. And anytime she's going to the teacher's place, she should go with a friend who, if the teacher sees the friend, be like, okay, this guy spoils my plans. So let me just stop for today.
Okay, so Prince, Brian has given us some tip, going with some friends. But how else can she avoid any potential problems between her and the teacher?
Okay, she could attend the classes with a friend also. And also she should be self-disciplined. She should have in mind the reason why she came to the school, and she should be firm. If she wants to spoil her body, fine, that's her. But if she really wants to study and wants to make it in the science, then she should be firm and not go towards the teachers.
But you see, another thing is that once she starts being firm, the teacher would come and you know how teachers behave.
Come and feel you again.
Yes, and you say, so are you? Oh, so me, I'm your friend. So me, I'm not. No, not even that. You say, but I'm your friend, and now you don't talk to me. Oh, Araba, you don't come and say hello. You know that kind of thing. How does she avoid some potential friction between her and the teacher and Prince?
Yeah, she should balance the student-teacher relationship with student-boyfriend relationship.
We mean business.
Right in front of your face.
Oh no, but then tell him, oh, we mean I came here to learn, nothing else. That's what he's trying to say. Yes,
Hey,
limits.
So she should also give him limits.
You also give you limits to your back.
Okay, so Alkorichi, what's your advice?
Well, I think the lady is not happy about it. That's why
Yes,
perhaps she's brought it up for
Yes,
discussion. So, at best, she should, if the teacher has been explicit, she should equally be explicit that she's not interested. But beyond that, she needs the teacher's help. So, in terms of finding help, that is where I would advise, perhaps as Prince mentioned, there will be a number of students who may have issues with science. So this lady can involve all of them and approach the teacher that they need help in science. So it wouldn't be just targeting you and the teacher making demands of you. So you can just push the one person to lead the whole thing, call the teacher that we didn't understand this very particular topic, so how do you take us through again? So that is one approach. Another approach may be, I would advise that she use some of her colleagues to get the knowledge that she wants. In every class, there are brilliant ones. Sometimes they can even explain it more than the teacher.
Like Noah.
Well, given the context, they can appreciate the way you understand things on your level. They are well able to give you the understanding. I had one in my class. That guy he's just a smart guy. So you can approach your classmates, they can help you. And I was thinking of another one where you rather involve your parents to chat with the teacher to assist you. So in a way, there is a third eye looking at the teacher. So not just you going to the teacher to seek help. Yeah, I guess these are, and of course there could be a number of science teachers in the school. You shouldn't just go to the same teacher who wants to put you in one corner. You can speak to other science teachers to assist you in that regard. Yeah.
All right. So what if?
But you said classes teachers, obviously.
No, her class teacher, the one who teaches her science in class.
I think it's
Oh, I thought you
Brian
said
that mentioned that yeah.
Oh,
Okay, but the teacher persists. How does she report? Because you know sometimes you can become afraid what the teacher could do to you. How does she report if the teacher is still persisting and is interested in that Araba girl? Nah, he's not willing to change his mind.
I guess things have changed, and I would appreciate the how assertive the young ones are today. Araba can, in any form, whether trying to hide her identity, inform authorities of the teacher, or if she thinks it's pestering enough, can go to the headmaster and then report. As much as possible, she can time the teacher and get evidence.
yes.
And then make a case to the headmaster or whoever is in authority. But other than that, she can just hide her identity and then anonymously put in a letter. But then her name will come in because she has to report that the teacher is tracing Araba, and that would mean hell for her. So she can get evidence and try to, but it's difficult if this teacher is that person that you can't touch in the school, and your grades will tend to go from bad to worse because the teacher likes you and you are not forthcoming. And so as much as possible, if there is any other teacher that she can confide in, she can also engage that teacher. I hope that teacher too doesn't take advantage of me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Uncle Richie, for those important tips. I'm sure you've learned a lot from that. And so please stay tuned. Today we have a very, very, very special talent of the day, after which we'll come and give a few tips on how to manage the times we are in, which is election fever.
Wajila nyama wiyelo Fisi macho mado mayina nyama wiyelo We potanya chonya devi makeva sade hebehe Tamado dosi na wada nunye ava eme Tanyama hanu nyama chijiyo Mapojijo nyama bijiyo Nusi nyama hiya nyehowa awena mlo Nyama hanu nyama chijiyo Mapojijo nyama bijiyo Nusi nyama chi Yehowa awena mlo Nyama umanda kwalo Akpena o nyama we Akpalo o Nusi wona wata mieda kwalo Nyama umanda kwalo Akpena o nyama we Akpalo Nusi wona wata mieda kwalo Madu wataja na nyama u Bobo na nyama u Madwa geshe na nyama u alele Madwa baja na nyama u Bobo na nyama u Baba shiko na nyama u alele Yehowa ya nyetonye Nukaye ajingona Nafuto wo wabadenu nye Yehowa ya wabana Awo nyama u ya lolo Nyama u ya kekelo Nandeke magba wawane Yomata bikoko Epashi sese ya lejinye Abo sese ya lejinye Futo wajimo makomo mele Epa balate Epashi sese ya lejinye Abo sese ya lejinye Nukuponu mapo ya lio mele Bebe Oh nyama umanda kwelo Akpena wakwelo Usiwona wata mieda kwelo Ao Yehowa manda kwelo Akpalo Usiwona wata mieda kwelo Madwakaja na nyama u Bobo na nyama u Yamadwakeshe na nyama u alele Madwakaja na nyama u Bobo na nyama u Baba shiko na nyama u alele Akpena o nyama u Nusiwona wata mieda kwelo Akpena o nyama uye Nusiwona wata mieda kwelo
All right, you're welcome from that break. I'm sure you enjoyed that presentation. And so today we have realized that you have a few months to election 2020. And so I would want to ask our friends a few tips, or how are you feeling ahead of the election generally? I saw no idea. Election
Elections not is me.
So you don't have anything to do with elections.
On that, I'll sleep very well.
Oh, okay. Then how about you, Nancy?
Like, it's a little scary, but
Scary in terms of what?
As in you being scared that someone will take you and go use you for ritual just to allow his party or this one to win.
Yes. I see. Prince, I think you are voting this year.
Sure.
So how are you feeling?
Like when you consider the time we're going to register for the voters ID card, some polling stations also had a little wave of election fever, that kind of thing. How the riots and people were disturbing resulted to fights. Military men even had to come there, come and settle some issues. It was very fearful. So during this election, I think we should, if you don't have any business doing at the polling station, you shouldn't even go there.
All right, Uncle Richie, please, before I want to, is God against elections and politics?
Well, I'm not so sure. Few instances in the Bible, there's been the need for elections, I should say. And politics, at least the students of political science or politics will say, politics is everywhere, even at home. Who takes the last drop of the milk becomes politics, or who will sit in front at the front seat of the car can be politics. Politics, they are in various forms. And when the children, I think the Jews with the apostles, and there was a need, or people complained that the people are not getting food and thereabouts. There was a need to elect few people to manage the food items. So election has been part of life, and I think God allowed leaders in the reign of Israel to lead out in various ways. Although at some point when the children of Israel were calling for a king, God did not approve of it, but he gave it anyway. And subsequent to that, he continued to lead them out through some leaders and some judges. So I guess it's part of us, and I'm not sure God disapproves of it.
All right. So how do you think we should stay safe during this election period?
So I remember year 2000. I wasn't voting. No, I'm not old like that. Okay, we're all not born. Wow, I feel old right now. Yeah, so our mom went out to vote, and we had another family house in Kumasi. We decided to go there whilst our mom had gone to vote. And funny enough, I don't know, just crazy, we locked the door and the key inside.
Oh.
So we returned. We thought of getting back before our mom comes, and so that she wouldn't even know that we went there. We had to force our kid brother through the burglar proof to go and get a key and all that. It's always the feeling is good. Ghana, I think we've been lucky over the years compared to our neighboring countries. There's been peace through our elections. Even the west of it will be some packets of polling stations recording incidents, and then the 2012 the court issue, which was amicably settled. So I am very hopeful that this year is going to pass with another peaceful election. So generally, I would advise that let's stay calm, and for those who are afraid of their lives, nothing is going to happen, to the glory of God. Just stay safe, and by safety, there are the myth of people killing people for rituals in these elections. Of course, it's not been proven, so we can't talk about it. But in your own corner, make sure that you are protecting yourself. Walking in groups is advised. In places that you think it's not safe to go, just try to have your friends around or family members. But Prince made a good point. If you don't have nothing doing outside, just stay indoors. And for those who have turned 18 and will be voting, I think it's a very simple process. I don't know why it takes the stress of a lot of people. You go either at queue, the most you may meet there, especially if you go very early morning. I don't know, people want to vote and rush to work or something, so there will be queue. But you can time yourself and go around 11, 12, 1 thereabouts. There are usually few people there. You vote, you drop it in, and then you just go back home. There is no need staying there for any issues. And I think there are red spots. There are polling stations that almost every year you know that things will happen. If you are going to vote in such a polling station, just as we've advised, finish it and then move out. Again, latter part of the day, just close to the counting, I think there are always tension. So personally, if I have to vote, I'll vote between 11 and then 2 o'clock. It ends at 5. just around 5, people are looking at ways to either snatch ballot boxes or put some in, I don't know. And others are also vigilantly looking on so that nobody does that. So there could be some heckle here and there. Just try to find an ideal time, vote, and then move on. I think that's the safest way. And again, I would say, and hitting on social media, I believe a lot of news will be going on around during, or let me say prior to, during, and then even post-elections. Most of them may be false, others may be true. People will be declaring winners without authority, and then we'll be pushing this around. We'll be reporting of incidences that have never happened and all that. Don't rush to go and look. And I would even advise, don't try even sharing it as much as possible. You want to keep your people safe anyway, but you know, in Ghana there is a cyber law against peddling false information. So you don't want to, in the tracing of items, to know that it came from your phone that you said that. So let's try to screen the messages that come to our phone and the ones that we share as we are advising on social media. Let's try to keep the calm and not share the stress. I think that those should be enough, I believe.
All right. So what if I see my friend being attacked? Should I also go help him fight back?
How strong are you? How strong are you? I want to believe that if your friend should take this advice, both you and your friend will be safe. However, if your friend is being attacked, I believe the best recourse is to make a call to the relevant authorities. Luckily, during the election, the police forces are almost around every time. We can't talk of the bad nuts in the squad, but at least you can call on a policeman who may be close by to assist in that regard. And I believe just keep your speed dials on some of the security agencies, the 911s and all that, so that you can make a call when you think that there are instances. But I would advise not to try to be the hero of the day before you lose your eye or your tooth. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we've all learned a lot from today's episode. From our friend we now know that he's being called into the profession of Noah, and so very soon you'll hear from Brian. And we've learned that sometimes we need to manage ourselves on social media. And if you are faced with a situation where advances are being made towards you, you should try and find ways of getting out of it, using friends, going anonymous. Find a way. Sometimes just pray and God can intervene. And we've also learned that you should stay safe during the election. If you don't have anything doing outside, don't go. We beg. Please, no hero of the day. We are not Superman. So please stay at home and stay safe. And God bless us all. Uncle Richie, do you have any shout out you want to give or anyone you want to say hi to?
Well, I think it's to the team. This is a very interesting program that I wish the world all over are aware of it. So to your friends, just try to push the links to them, let them follow. A lot of interesting discussions. From the few days that I tried to follow some of your videos, I think if we had the opportunity to learn some of these things, perhaps our lives would have been better than it is right now. But to shout out, who else? Maybe my wife is watching me, so definitely before I think she deserves the hi.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and stay tuned for next week's episode. God bless you.